Raghunath, are you ready for this?
What?
The wisdom of the sages trainings that are going on.
Where?
At the Eco Village, the Govardhan Eco Village in India.
Why?
To totally transform your life spiritually.
Who?
You, me, Radha Swami's going to be there. Other great teachers are going to be there. Lots of cool people.
How?
You go to wisdomofthesages.com/events. You find all the information there.
Herbal.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
From Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kaustuba Das. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to interview day, sleep in Sunday. You got to sleep in a couple extra hours. I couldn't sleep in today. I woke up super early. And anyway, I tried to sleep in, but something's
What's on your mind, Raghunath?
You.
What did I do?
You've been always on my mind. You're always on my mind. I just woke up. You know, I think it's like the special blessings of Kartik.
It's a good
just
thing.
like my body's been waking me up super early, even when I want to sleep in. So I was like, all right, I'm up. Might as well chant. So that's how my morning. I had a good morning.
Okay.
But we had a great program here at the farm last night. It was very sort of like unofficial, but Drew Lawrence is here. Our favorite astrologer, he was here. But then Radhikesh is going to get sad. Our favorite astrologers. But Drew Lawrence was here, and he is wonderful, and he gave a great class, and we had Damodar Astakam, and all the local community came, and it's just been fun, and he's here today. I'm hanging out with him and Anu, and they're here live right now. Yeah, everything's going well, and we're excited for our special guest today, but don't mention her name yet.
All right.
Even though she's sitting right next to you, don't mention her. Put up a pillow sack over your head there, Divya.
You said it.
Okay, Divya Alter is here. The famous Ayurvedic chef, which your famous cookbook. Check this out. Which at the farm, Divya, we've been making wonderful goodies from this cookbook, including your pesto. How to make pesto without garlic. That is a Himalayan peak to climb, and you've done it. You've climbed it, and we've been making pesto potatoes that like can knock your socks off. Thank you.
Well, it means a lot when coming from you, from in Italian, both Italians here. Yeah. You know your pesto. We
do know our pesto. And Mara makes a mean vegan meatball as well. So now I think you've completed the circle for Italian delights. Now, can we get a vegan cannoli that's healthy and delicious?
That takes a long time to make. We'll talk about making time to cook today.
Okay, this is great. But before we get dive deep,
Raghunath, we just need to make clear the show is largely about
cannolis?
You today. No. You. Oh. We're going to help you prepare healthy meals for yourself and your family.
Oh, I get what's going on. Raghunath's a train wreck. Raghunath's a hot mess express. He needs our help. Let me tell you, Kaustuba.
It's not fault.
Give me your wife for 1 week, and I give you 3 kids. Let me see how perpendicular.
Well, if that were the case,
how wrinkle-free your life becomes.
If that were the case, then I would want the help that we're providing for you today. That's my point. You see, it's
He's
love.
Gonna make me
try
throw
to understand.
Out all my honey nut Cheerios. That's what I've got a feeling is going to happen. If I let Divya into my pantry, everything's going in the garbage.
Okay.
Maybe in the compost.
Right in the compost. But before we start, we gotta get some announcements.
Okay.
Announcements, please, Mara.
We have a back to your recovery group meeting today at 9:30.
A little closer, Mara. A little closer.
I'm closer,
back
Mara.
to your recovery group meeting today at 9:30. And then we'll talk more about it. But tomorrow evening for our Patreon members, Divya is going to offer a cooking Q&A session at 6 p.m. Eastern time for Patreon members.
I want you tuning in, Raghunath, for that one, okay?
I would like, I'm dead serious about this. I want a reality show of Kaustuba, San's wife, plus 3 kids, plus
I
soccer.
could take the older 2. Tarun, I think I'll be lost. As much as I love him, I think
I
you'll
would
see
love to
Stuba goes into a rage.
I'd love to see your mind unwind.
There's one more announcement that today's the Urban Davy, right?
Oh, yeah, at 11 a.m. through the Bhakti Center website, bhakticenter.org.
I
Urban
also want to
Davy.
announce the Bhakti Recovery Group.com. Bhakti Recovery has a retreat in Switzerland. So if you're from Europe or if you just ever want to go to Switzerland, great time to be in Switzerland. Actually, it's November 24th. Tough time to be in Switzerland, perhaps.
Good time for skiing.
November 24th through the 27th. So if you want to get up there, it's at our good friend Kamaniya and Keshavacharya. There are others out there. They have a beautiful retreat. Have you been there, Divya?
No,
To the retreat center?
but I saw Keshavacharya the other day at the Bhakti Center.
Oh, really? What?
Yeah, he was here.
Well, they have a beautiful retreat center in Davos.
Is it like a ski lodge kind of thing?
No, it's like a little old farmhousey place on the hills. It's gorgeous.
Sounds very quaint.
Davos is where they have those world financial
Oh, yeah.
headquarters. You know, it's where all the, all the conspiracy theories. About so if you want to peek into that, you're going to be right
Peek into
there
that
too.
world. All right, we ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome, Divya.
I thought we started already.
No, we didn't start
Thank you.
yet.
No, thank you for having me back. I love wisdom of the sages. I love the people with the wisdom of the sages. I meet so many people, even in our culinary training that it's going on right now. People are like, "Oh, I'll see you tomorrow at the wisdom of the sages," and I'm like, "Wow, great!"
Amazing.
So you're famous.
Notorious. It's different.
Why don't we come right out and announce a couple things, and then we'll start to kind of churn some
Nectar?
some Ayurvedic culinary wisdom from Divya. But there's a couple important things to share, right, Raghunath? First is the book that came out, which you've mentioned already.
Yeah, the book's great. And her first book's great too, but this book is really cool. Check this out. If you can see, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see this. It's
The Joy of Balance.
The Joy of Balance, which, I struggle with a little bit, but I understand there's joy there. I have a broken picker. I pick chaos. I trend towards chaos.
Okay.
And so The Joy of Balance, I find this book a little confronting, but I know its importance.
Well, go to the subtitle. If you struggle with the title, go to the subtitle.
Okay, an Ayurvedic guide to cooking with healing ingredients. Here we go.
We're going to heal you, Raghunath. We're going to
Okay.
heal you.
You know what? I am just getting out of a, anyway,
You need
I'm
some healing?
rebirthing myself this year. So
Okay, this book's gonna help.
This is going to be very good.
Okay, so that book, and let me just share. You were mentioning my wife earlier. My wife took that first cookbook and just changed everything, and it wasn't difficult for her. You know, she learned so many.
Everything.
She changed the whole kitchen, the whole strategy.
Oh,
and
I thought you meant she changed the whole cookbook. She's like, I took
no,
it,
no,
but I
not
just
the
changed it.
cookbook. No, but in other words, she just started preparing. Every meal that we have in my home is like healthy and delicious. And Divya's cookbook, the first one, has so much to do that. So she was so eager to get this next one and just expand.
It's like having your own little Divya in your house.
It is. Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, in a sense it is. And but honestly, there's practical, really helpful information that will help you just like live. It's it affects your body, it affects your consciousness. It's really powerful what this has to offer. And the next thing we need to offer to mention is these master classes that we want to share with everyone. That Divya is doing a series of master classes. We'll ask you about that in a moment. What I want to share is, there's all kind of quote unquote master classes out there, and there's all kind of quote unquote different kind of coaches out there, and there's all this stuff.
I'm a master coach.
Okay.
Everybody's a master nowadays. Ever notice that?
Well,
everybody's a master. But you know what? Divya's a master.
She's a real master. Yeah, this is a woman that's dedicated her life to understanding Ayurveda and its principles and cooking, and it shows in everything she does. She's for real. Someone that we've known for decades, someone that we can really endorse with full confidence, that she really knows what she's doing. What she's sharing is valuable. So,
I've known her for 19 years.
Yeah.
You know that? I used to live on Watsika in Los Angeles, and I used to, on the whole block of Hare Krishnas live on that street. and I was newly wed, and I would walk out my door to go to the temple, and there would be Divya just chanting Hare Krishna on her beads early in the morning, like the sun has barely just risen, and she's out there just chanting. I see her every day. Do you remember that, Divya?
I remember seeing you at Govinda's, but you can stop making me blush because I'm already pretty humbled right now. So, but I do remember our time in Los Angeles. Yes.
Extremely zoomed in and focused on the holy name.
I think, were you working for the BBT, like Sanskrit stuff at that time?
No, I was for the GBC. BBT was before that.
She's a woman of many talents and skills, Sanskrit among them. Okay, but Divya, why don't we have you tell us about the master classes, and then we're going to share the information, because this is a blowout bonanza.
It's a blowout bonanza?
Yes, this is a blowout bonanza. This is a huge discount that Wisdom of the Sages listeners will get to take these master classes. You know, it's something that we don't cover so much on our show, but cooking is such an essential part of the Bhakti Yoga culture and practice, right?
And we generally don't even do any type of ads for stuff on the show, but we just like endorse this lovely woman so much that we want to get behind her.
Right. So it's almost like we're nearly 3 years into this podcast, and we really haven't shared a lot about cooking. When we plan on developing a kind of like an online academy kind of thing, hopefully within the next few months, and maybe cooking could be a larger part of that. But these master classes are really professionally done. They're just super clear and helpful set of classes. And Divya, why don't you just tell us a bit about what you're sharing in those?
Well, yeah, thank you. My greatest passion is to teach in terms of helping people learn what I know, share what I've learned in life. And I've been teaching cooking classes for so many years. We've had thousands and thousands of students over the past years. Most of them came to the Bhakti Center, and I consider the masterclass, it's a video production. It's something that you can get access to and watch it anywhere in the world at your convenience. And I consider this like the culmination of my teaching career in a sense, because it's systematic, it's beautifully produced, and it's very engaging. You know, Ayurveda and cooking also, it can get so theoretical. But this is very interactive. We use motion graphics, we use music, and it's really how even children can learn with these videos. And it's
so there's hope for me.
We're gonna get the kids there in the kitchen. Get little turn.
Get me in the kitchen.
That's what I was going to say, Raghunath, because when you engage your kids in the kitchen, you not only teach them a life skill that they can use throughout their whole life, but also you get help, and they become more excited about by preparing their own food. They become more excited about eating healthier, fresh meals.
I think it's a great way to sort of ground kids, get them in cooking's like a meditation. So it's sort of like you're grounding them, you're touching food, you're cooking it with a mood of devotion. You're thinking, I'm going to offer this food. I want it to be clean here. I want it to be, taste delicious, etc. It's a deep meditation, like in the same way gardening is. You're touching the food there, and same way picking flowers is. So yeah, it's very, very grounding at the least, and at the most, it's like pure devotional service.
Okay, and it's also fun. It's a fun activity. It's a creative outlet also. So it really, to me, it brings the family together.
Mary, is cooking fun for you, or is it just all work now? Tell the truth.
It's fun. I still love it.
Okay. You see that?
All right.
Yeah, so the master classes, it came out to 8.5 hours of produced video material. And it's broken into sections. It's an introduction to Ayurvedic cooking, setting up your kitchen, how to reorganize your kitchen for efficiency and joy. And then spices, how to cook with spices. And I show different spice blends and all about spices, recipes for cooking with spices, how to prepare your own staples, including churning fresh butter to make your own cultured ghee.
My wife does that.
and so many other things. It's very practical, and these are really skills. I mean, people are watching them already, and they're like, wow, this is, I thought I can just watch this while doing something else, but no, I just stop and watch it because it's so rich, and it's very
Do you watch it
encouraging.
first and then cook, or do you watch it while you're cooking?
I would suggest watching it first, because
Okay.
I don't just teach recipes. It's way more than a cooking class, right? I
Okay.
explain the principles of healthy cooking, balanced cooking, how to determine what food is best for you at any given time.
Oh, I'm doing this with my kids. for
You know
sure.
what this is an example of, Raghunath?
What?
Is like what you call like we're catching up to the past, right? It's like there was an ancient civilization that knew a lot better about how to cook,
That was
about
a
how to
little
eat.
wiser than us.
Yeah, we got all our convenience and all that. We're creating food that's it has no. We're going to talk about this prana in it, right? It has no life. It doesn't give you any energy, and as a matter of fact, it's counterproductive. You walk through a grocery store and you look at the shelves. Most of that stuff's not good for you. You know, it
Sure.
doesn't make you happy or give you good energy.
Sure. You know, when I was first became a vegetarian, Divya, I was like 17 or 18, moved to New York City, and I was like, I wanted to ethically become a vegetarian, but I was like, okay. I went through a year of eating pizza and Coca-Cola, and I was like, this can't be healthy. I need an alternative. And then I found an Ayurvedic class, and there was one book on Ayurveda out at the time, and there was an Ayurvedic
Prakruti,
teacher.
that one,
Huh?
Prakruti, is that the one?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm,
Basant Lad.
remember that, yeah.
And this was like 1988. And then and Bhagavat, who's a devotee, who's now a Swami, he was teaching this class, and he ran this bookstore, and I took a course from him when I was a young man, how to learn how to cook and how to apply
Really?
and how to apply Ayurveda to your life.
Cool.
That was when I first got into it. And then and the interesting thing he explained to me, which is interesting. This is very interesting. Like, we have a lot of concepts of how to be healthy. And some is like a person became very successful with a grape juice diet and they cured cancer, or a raw food diet and they cured this, and a healing diet that cured this. But then you try it on other people and it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Right. And so what the beautiful thing, which was explained to me, was things work according to your constitution, because we are all different beings, and therefore the same remedy is going to be different for a different body type. And I was like, duh, why does the whole world know this? This is like amazing. And so you eat according to your body type. That makes sense. You eat according to what grows in your area. That makes sense. And so, yeah, I dealt with all these this group of Ayurvedic crew, and I worked in a vegetarian restaurant right up the road, because Stuba knows all this. But and that was my introduction to Ayurveda, and it was the first thing. And the idea is, where does this come from anyway? So one guy, trial and error? No, it's actually descending from Vedic teachings. It's actually coming from Lord Vishnu himself.
And it's been tested for thousands of years. So
Yes.
it's definitely, and the thing is also, what I love about Ayurveda is very personal. It's very personalized. It's customized, but also it's a participatory practice. So it's not just taking the herb. It's not just taking the ashwagandha or the triphala or whatever, all these famous Ayurvedic
Turmeric
herbs.
pills.
Oh, forget it. The
The hing pills are the ones that I'm never going back to those.
Oh, the Hingashtak? That's
good.
No, Hajmol, you're thinking. Hajmol.
Not
Those are
Hashmal.
the
I don't go
worst.
for that either, because that's got the black salt in it.
Yeah. So wait a second. Let's stop. Let's pause that for a second, because
I was going to say let's pause, because we need to give people the info that they needed to get the master class.
All right. Remind me ashwagandha pills and turmeric
Okay, we'll get
pills.
back to that.
And I'll get back to that. Okay.
Okay, so now what we want to do is offer everyone a special offer for Wisdom of the Sages listeners. This is a 40% discount on these classes. So that means
We
the
like
price,
that.
the price comes from what down to what?
It's like $497 down to $297.
Okay, so it comes down a couple $100. You get a
Thank you.
very big
Thank
discount.
you for that offer, Divya. $497.
And also whoever purchases the class supports the Wisdom of the Sages, because
We're getting a cut.
you're getting
We
it.
get a cut.
But
get a
it's
cut?
unconditional. It's
How much?
out of love.
We would have been promoting this anyway.
Yeah, we would have promoted it anyway, but she says we get a cut. We told her we would have
like,
done
okay.
it. And we were like, okay, I don't want to We are a community supported podcast.
It is a
Oh,
life changing. It could be life changing for you. I mean, I've seen so many people apply even one little thing in their life, and they're like, "Wow, this makes such a big difference."
I think that's how it works. Is the whole thing can be overwhelming at once, but you key in on one principle, and then you see, oh, this is good, and then you take up the next, and that's what happened with my wife. And then pretty soon it's like it took over everything, you know. But it's been really good.
And you don't want to go back because you feel so good and you enjoy it. It's like if you're scraping your tongue every morning, that's a great first step. You know, you're practicing Ayurveda. And the good thing about it is you have fresh breath, right? And you can taste food better. And then if we can
Tasting food better means you digest it better and all of that as well.
Yes. I mean, it's all about digestion. So if you're sitting down to eat your food peacefully, you're practicing Ayurveda.
okay.
Takeaway, Mara, right there. Scrape your tongue.
Scrape your tongue, Mara.
Right.
Not now. Not now.
I'm telling Mara to do it. But
That's your takeaway today.
So now I want to focus in on the codes that people need to access this, unlock this. Right?
To unlock it.
Mara, do you have that? There's a special. Oh, there's a link that people can go to, right?
Okay. Well, the thing is, there's a lot of people that most of the people, like 9,000 or 10,000 people, will not get this link.
No. The link will be there, and if anyone that listens, if you listen to it on Apple Podcasts, it'll be in the notes for this episode. If you listen to it on Stitcher, it'll be on the notes. So wherever you're listening to this, in the details of this particular podcast, you will find this link. So you go to that link to get 40% off of the master classes, right? And then there's also a code that if you want to, and again, if you do this within 30 days, you also get these 3 extra bonus classes. So it's like, this is a blowout bonanza, Raghunath, okay?
Okay. And get 15% off the first purchase.
Now that's another thing. That's a code which reads, what is it? Wisdom of the Sages? Mara?
15. What's that for?
Wisdom of the Sages 15 will give you 15% off.
I thought we get 40% off.
No, that's for any purchase on Divya's website. Is that correct?
No, so
that's other stuff.
I mean,
you help explain.
So we have,
tell us how it works.
You get the 40% on the master classes, but we also, because I understand that a lot of us are busy with our lives, with family, and then you have to cook on top of it and make it healthy and make it tasty and then make it prasad. I mean, it's like a whole, go through so many steps. And it can become really overwhelming, especially when you first get into a vegetarian diet and you're concerned about your health. So what we did is we created and we continue to create meal packets, like meal products. So we have 4 types of khichdi in the packet, and we wash the lentils and the grains for you, and we dehydrate them, and
no preservatives or anything in there.
No. And we add all the spices.
I saw those khichdi packets. You're a genius.
Yeah, and you just pour it. If you can boil water, you can make this khichdi. Just pour the content in boiling water, cover it, come back to it 20 minutes later, and it's ready. And it's delicious and it's nourishing. And I eat those a lot, I must say, because I do so many things, especially when I teach. And it's like, I don't have time to cook right now and I'm hungry, and it just make the khichdi and it's ready. We have soups, we have sauce. I mean, it's really
simple
practical.
and it's good, because in America, we have this crazy concept that health means I ate a bar. That's what we're doing. This is how sophisticated and evolved our country has become. We eat bars. We forget the other health benefits that go into like sitting together, sitting with your family, cooking food, putting your energy and your love in the food. We have this crazy concept like, I'm just going to eat a bar today. I'm great. This has every nutritional element. I broke down food into its tiniest nutritional elements, and we packed it in a chocolate covered bar. No.
Or a protein shake. A protein shake.
Anu, was that you drinking the protein shake?
Don't find fault over here. Don't criticize. You're judgmental over here.
But that's the thing is.
Oh, Anu.
Every day he loses it one time.
Okay,
Well, because you know why? Because right now we look at food in the wrong way. I think we look at food in terms of nutrition, like how many grams of protein and fiber and fat and all that. We don't look at food as nourishment.
You're looking at it the wrong way, Raghunath.
Well, it's a different way to let even the concept of vitamin theory. It's a new theory. They have been healthy people cooking like Ayurveda, but Chinese approach to making balanced diet, etc. There's been ancient people who are scientific, who understood medicine, who understood balance, who understood health. I mean, come on, they were gladiators. You don't think they understood health? You think they were just like working out?
I don't see the connection.
What's that?
I don't see the between
my point is, we think,
you mean they're
now
strong.
we figured out health. Wrong. They knew health. They were doing really healthy things instead of just going to the gym and looking hot. That hotness was used to like defend your kingdom. They really understood health. I mean, we're catching up to it now. I just bought one of those the Indian clubs. You know, you swing it around, and it's a huge thing in the fitness industry because they're all like, yeah, we have to learn how to just like swing our body, not just go up and down and parallel and perpendicular with our body. So these ancient sciences, they're real. We didn't create health. We didn't create medicine. We didn't create anything. And we have a very narrow take of what health is. And have you noticed in the last, even in my lifetime, they're always updating it. We thought this was healthy, and now
why don't we let Divya speak a little bit about it? I know.
Do you remember what health is?
Grind here.
Anybody 50 plus, north of 50, remembers health in the 70s was iceberg lettuce, cottage cheese, and canned fruit. I kid you not. That was what was considered
grapefruit,
healthy
maybe too.
in the 70s.
Grapefruit.
Grapefruit with some sugar sprinkled on it. Oh, thank you, Divya. I'm finished.
Yeah. Tofu in the 90s.
Tofu in the 90s.
Now they're saying tofu's not so good, right?
No, yeah.
They all update it.
But see, I mean, again, we're looking at food in the wrong way. Instead of just we need to look at food as nourishment, as a source of energy, as a source of deep nourishment and vitality and invigoration, rather than just filling up our belly when we're hungry.
Sure.
So Ayurveda speaks about the concept of prana, which is so much part of yoga also. Like we do pranayama, we use physical exercise to move the prana around, to charge ourselves with prana. But food is another great source of prana. And we forget about that. So
food is a good source of prana.
yeah, it's one of the main sources of prana for us. It's the breath, but also food, because that's one of our sources of nourishment. So when you look at food, like I ask myself, is this invigorating, alive food that's going to charge me with prana? Or is it a dead food, that's been ultra processed with they don't even, some of the ingredients are so artificial, they have numbers instead of names, that doesn't spoil for months and years. And
something's up with that, right?
Yeah, and it's like I call it
red flag right there.
Yeah, it's like it's so corrupt, it's so processed that the body doesn't even recognize it as food. It's like you eat it and it's like, oh, what do I do with this? How do I break this down? So Ayurveda speaks about really connecting food as a source of prana. So then when it's like, okay, yeah, a freshly cooked meal will energize me a lot more than a canned or frozen meal, right? It's not just opening a can and warming up the soup. So Ragnar, I want to ask you, so if do you like peaches?
Do I like peaches?
Yeah.
I like canned peaches in light syrup. Just kidding. Yes, I love peaches. During peach season, I love peaches. I also keep a thing of frozen peaches for peach smoothies in my freezer.
That kills the prana right there.
Well, that's what I was going
prana's frozen is better than canned.
Yeah, but it's not.
What do you think?
Yeah, but let's hear from the expert. Thank you.
But no, you're right. Frozen is better than canned. But if it's peach season, okay. So let me ask this: it's peach season, and I pick a fresh peach from my mom's garden, and I give it to you, and it's so aromatic. It's ripe and juicy and sweet. And then I have a canned peach like a can of peaches, and I tell you, okay, pick one. Which one would you choose?
Yeah, I like the fresh peach. It's natural. I mean, I grew up with those slimy peaches in a can and syrup. I thought it was delicious, and those strange little eyeball grapes that were in there, and those maraschino cherries. Fruit
Like it could have been
cocktail, we
anything
called it.
floating in there. It didn't have to be a peach. Just it was in
Yeah,
that
it was
syrup.
just like, oh, it was just in that syrup. It could have been a shoelace. I'd be like, this is delicious.
Well, yeah.
But yes, fresh peaches, nothing beats that. Fresh blueberries, nothing beats it. I've got blueberries growing all over this property. Fresh strawberries, out of control. Berries, black caps, raspberries. Got them growing everywhere.
Fresh things
It's
in general,
incredible.
Raghunath. Yes.
Yeah,
Fresh
but why
things
is
in
that?
general.
Why is that your first choice?
Why is it my first choice?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, just being older, I just know that when I eat this is what I try to tell my kids. If my kids want to overeat some junk, I'll just say, if you're going to do it, notice how you feel afterwards. So for me, just being north of 50, when I eat something, I know that if I eat those berries, it's going to be much better than eating sort of like berry frozen yogurt or berry, even vegan
Or
ice cream stuff.
Blueberry, what is it? Blueberry crunch.
Blueberry crunch, fruity pebbles. I know that
I don't even know what these are.
You missed it. You missed fruity pebbles. Don't worry about it. It was something that's part of our life that you'll never know, but you missed it. And you're lucky you missed it. I'm still working, trying to get that out of my system.
So you're saying that like maybe people are moving through, I think a lot of people, moving through the world right now saying, I feel tired all the time, or I feel distracted, or I can't concentrate, or I'm depressed, and all of that may be due to that we're eating food that's actually dead, that although it looks like food, all of the prana, there's a certain energy within it that it gives us a certain energy, and the stuff that we're eating isn't giving us that.
Yeah, exactly. There is an imbalance of prana in our body, in our mind, and because we're not increasing the prana, we're not getting things that charge us with prana. So there is in yoga, I learned this from a yoga teacher about how to manage your prana, and I find this extremely helpful because it will help us to thrive on our natural energy and not depend on caffeine or any other stimulants. And the first thing is do the things that help you increase your prana, right? Eat the food that will help you increase prana, and be mindful. It's like, yes, I want to increase my prana. That prana is the life force that goes through our body. Prana is also around us. Prana also relates to the different life areas, like the vayu, the vata movement in the body. Sorry. So being mindful of increasing our prana, and then conserving it, right? You want to fill up your reserves. Don't just spend all your prana at once. It's like, prana is like money, right? It's you want to increase it. We feel good when we get a raise. Actually, I have a little prop here.
Don't blow all your money.
Don't blow it all up. So I have my prop here to remind you, treat prana as money or as wealth. So increase it, conserve it, reserve it, use it wisely, but then balance it. And I think a lot of us struggle with balancing the prana. Like, if you're just so focused on your spiritual practice, all your prana might be up here, and then your feet are always cold. Ooh. Or your body is very weak because the prana is not circulating in a balanced way, or you're all in your head and your heart is kind of shut down. So balancing the prana, and yoga really helps with that. And
I think that really helps with yoga too. In other words, in order to be able to go deep into meditation or so on, having that balance becomes so advantageous.
Yeah, exactly. If prana is not balanced, then your body becomes like an obstacle to focus on your meditation. You sit down to chant or whatever, and then you get a stomach cramp.
Right.
Because your digestion is off.
What to speak of these very, very basic things that people suffer with that are epidemic, like depression or sadness. And it's really easy. It's really easy because you just flick on I hit like a news app by mistake yesterday, and I was just like, whatever, I'll scroll. And I was like, we're all gonna die. That's how I walked away from it. Like, we are all about to die. So it's never good. But if you're suffering from depression, I get it. Sometimes you need to go on medication, sometimes perhaps, but why not first work on your prana? Why not first move your body? Why not first rise early? Why not first go to bed early? Why not first have human relationships with people instead of doing everything online like we're doing now? But
We're gonna hug each other after this.
yes, we all just, I've got some people in this room too. So
You got animals and you got Gus.
I got Gus.
So these are all different ways. The food that we eat's important. The is the relationships we have. Also spending time in nature.
Yes.
The good fresh air. Fresh
But
water.
to your point about mental health, Raghunath, and
Yeah.
low prana can definitely lead to depression. So part of managing your prana is also to purify it. And prana also very much relates to the mind and the condition, the movement of the mind, the power of thought, if you want. So you can have like a million, like 10,000 thoughts that are all at low frequency and weigh you down, right? It's all these negative thoughts. Or you can have one thought that's very powerful and enlightened. Sure. And may I give an example for this?
Yes, please do.
So,
We were just hearing, just the other day, we read one of those inspiration tips from Satyananda Swami was, are your thoughts giving you energy? Remember that, Rona?
Yeah. Your thoughts giving you energy. I was using that one you did yesterday, fanning the spark today when I was chanting my job out.
It works, right? Is it good?
It does. It was great.
yeah, exactly. So it's about channeling our thoughts, channeling our prana to increase the frequency. So imagine Raghunath and Kustuba. So imagine that you come and visit us here at Tirtha House.
This place is great. This is on East 12th Street in the village. I mean, she got beautiful headquarters for all things Divya here. It's really nice.
Really? All things Divya.
This is where you did the videos right here?
Yeah, we recorded. I teach in this kitchen.
Can I come over?
Yeah, come over. So imagine you coming over, please, and really, please come over.
She'll make you a little something to eat. It's really nice.
Okay.
You come over from upstate New York. You come over from uptown. And I sit you down and I say, Raghunath and Kustuba, I'm so appreciative of your service, which I am in Rio, for Rio. And I want to offer you a $100 donation each.
Ooh.
How would you feel about that?
I'd be grateful.
Feel happier. I feel like there's hope.
All right. So I want to offer you $100 and I want to make you happy. So Kustuba, to you, I give you a $100 bill. Okay. Envelope, and you can take it and put it in
Can't
your
hear her.
pocket.
Give her the mic.
Give me a $100 bill in an envelope.
Okay.
All right. And Raghunath, to you, I give you $100 in $10,000 pennies. Okay. So 10,000 pennies equal $100 is the same value, but it's a 55. I just figured this out. It's 55-pound bag of pennies makes $100. So I give you that as a token of my appreciation. How would you feel about that?
I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Are you sure? You'd walk, and then you got to walk around that heavy bag.
It's a little bit of a burden walking around the city, and people see me with a big thing and probably has a dollar sign on it. People probably, hey, you got money in there? This is all pennies.
I'm trying to picture you right now going to the grocery store with the 10,000 pennies.
Oh, I've done that. I've poured out handfuls of pennies at the grocery door before. This is nothing new for me, carrying around pocketfuls of change. This is like business as usual. Well, but I understand it's a little bit more of a burden.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just to give an example. Like I can come to you with my 10,000 negative thoughts. Mm-hmm. Of prana vibrating at lower frequency, or I can come to you with one powerful thought or idea that can change your life.
I get the analogy now. I get
by the Thank God. I'm sorry. So that's the thing, by channeling our prana, by purifying, by channeling, we can really make an impact in our own life and then people around us. And what I love about the bhakti practice is that what Srila Prabhupada gave us is all the little daily activities that we do.
Yeah.
They're really geared to help us increase our prana, to conserve it, to balance it, to channel it, and to purify it. And it's
Good food, a little dancing, a little singing, that
A
kind
little
of thing.
meditation, a little come together with people that you like, a little eat together.
Share
Yeah, it's
some healthy
beautiful.
thoughts.
It's all helping, helpful hints to have a more successful and joyful life. That's why we're here.
yeah, because we eat food all the time, we have to eat. Food really affects our chemistry also. So I think food is, when you want to get back to balance, food is the quickest and the first thing that we should address, because it can help us bring ourselves back to balance the fastest.
Swamini, can I ask you a question? Or is it time for? Can I ask a question now, Kastuba? Or
Anytime you like, Raghunath. You can
okay,
ask a question.
so we cut on something. What Americans love to do is take something that works and then break it in, trying to find the smallest detail. So, okay, this herb works. We're going to call that herb a superfood. This herb works. We're going to call this a superfood. When you mix all these herbs together, they're called a super, and we break things down and then we sell it to people. Now, recently, because I have 50,000+ followers on Instagram, I always get these offers. Hey, we want
That's
you.
very impressive, Raghunath.
Well, if you're not signed, if you don't follow me, do it now. Just putting that out there. Raghunath.
Drop a
Yogi.
heart.
Drop a heart. Get some
You're an
traction.
influencer. You're an influencer.
Well, I'm an influencer. Yes, that's okay. That's my subtitle. That's my part of my bio. Raghunath is an influencer. My point is, I get all these offers
Master
to
influencer.
support things on my Instagram account. So they send me things without me even asking. And they said, we're going to send you turmeric, bottles of turmeric. We're going to send you ashwagandha. We're going to send, and I'm thinking, like, do these guys even know how this stuff works? Are they isolating these things? I know it's part of a bigger package. We can't just isolate things one out of a, like we want to isolate things out of fruit. What's healthy in fruit? We're going to isolate that, make a tincture out of it and sell it. Can you talk a little bit about isolating different healthy parts of food and then trying to just overdose on those things to get better? What's your theory on that?
Well, the Ayurvedic approach is that food and herbs work synergistically. So when you take the vitamin C out of the orange, for example, and you isolate that vitamin C is not going to act exactly the same way as the orange does.
Sure.
Because see, the body is very intelligent. The body is divine. it's divine arrangement. It's really,
Don't mess with Mother Nature. Remember that one, Raghunath?
The body. Yes, I know, Kastuba. Kastuba always passing back 70s commercials, jingles, etc. But not only is the body's quite unique and fantastic, but the orange itself, like the orange itself, it's not just nourishing. It smells good, right? It's safe. It's got its own little wrapper, isn't it?
And it's that the flavor also enhances the digestion and the processing of the vitamin C that you're getting.
Yeah, exactly. It activates the brain. So the brain registers it as food and says, hey, these are the enzymes you need to break down this food and digest it fully, absorb the nutrients, assimilate, all that. So when you isolate things, then you lose that synergy. Sometimes we need supplements because we depleted. And this depletion of nutrients and also depletion of energy comes from poor digestion. So when your digestive system is not working properly and you're not absorbing the nutrients, you can be eating the best food, but you can't digest it. It doesn't work for you. So
interesting.
That's why in Ayurveda we always like, let's fix the digestion so that you're not going to get depleted. And then you don't need to take so many supplements. But in the meantime, if you need a supplement, make sure that it's 100% food-based. It's not isolated, but it's like the powder of pomegranate or something like that.
Right.
That's dried in a natural way.
What
And
what to speak of the um, pasteurized pomegranate juice that they sell, or well, what about like the last 10 years? Everybody's pushing turmeric and like, oh, turmeric, it's a miracle food. Is it the same taking turmeric powder or turmeric? Is that the same as cooking with turmeric?
well, scientifically, it's not. And also Ayurvedically, it's not. So my Ayurveda teacher, Vaidya Mishra, from the Shakavansiya Ayurveda lineage, he always used to say, like, always cook with turmeric. It's like when you take something from a tradition, use it according to the tradition. So when you go to India, everybody cooks with turmeric. They don't just sprinkle it on top of their salad or their food.
Right.
Because turmeric activates by cooking. So it actually becomes more absorbable, more bioavailable by cooking it.
Once you heat it, interesting.
Yes.
What about if you were eat it fresh? Chew on turmeric. I've chewed on fresh turmeric. Ever heard of anything about that? Or juice it. People juice it sometimes.
That's really intense.
I know it's a little intense.
You done turmeric bath before a wedding or something, so it's great for your skin. But so that's the other piece is Ayurveda speaks not just about what food or ingredient is good for, but what's the metabolic effect of it. So, for example, does it heat your body up after you eat it, or does it cool it down? So turmeric has a very heating effect. It increases heat. That's why if you tend to be more of a fiery person, you should be careful with those heating foods. And raw turmeric is especially heating, especially for the liver. So for somebody, especially if you're more out of balance, then raw turmeric can even increase that heat imbalance in your body. So
it's again one size fits
for
all
safety,
culture.
we don't recommend the raw turmeric. Some people can handle it, but not everybody.
Living dangerously over there, Raghunath.
I was sponsored by the turmeric guy.
Well, you can put it on your skin. You can mix it with a little bit of oil, make a nice turmeric mask, and look younger.
So turmeric powder, the powdered turmeric that you put in cooking, do you cook with that, or do you cook with whole turmeric, like the root?
I cook with the powder, yeah.
Okay, so that's okay.
But I really select my turmeric. I don't buy the light yellow turmeric that's mixed with who knows what from the Indian store.
No.
Like select the good quality organic turmeric that's really like dark yellow orange color, really rich.
Got that. Yeah, just because this is sometimes as we get more and more into the culture, the Vedic culture, we think, yeah, let's go to the Indian store. They're Indian. It must be healthy.
Yeah, there's a lot of fraudulent turmeric out there, unfortunately, and other things.
Beware of that fraudulent turmeric, Raghunath.
Yeah, fraudulent turmeric peddlers.
Take away, Mara.
So my point is that learn about the properties of the ingredients, like really learn how each ingredient acts in the body. And Ayurveda gives us very detailed description about this. And my new book is all about this. I profile ingredients, how to cook with them, how to digest them, when to use them, when not to use them. Because see, in Ayurveda, there is no good or bad food. Whether it's good for you or not, just like you mentioned in the beginning, Raghunath, it depends. It depends on your constitution, on your current condition, on the season, on the location, on the age, and all these things, your digestion. So we don't label food as good or bad. It's just
Fruity Pebbles might be good for some people.
if you're starving and you have nothing else to eat and you need to eat something to survive.
Fruity Pebbles is the way to go.
And that's
Or
how we're going to end the show
peach.
today.
But I know that's survival food. That's not daily food.
I'm not even sure it's survival. All right.
The food's not good or bad necessarily.
Yeah. So is it good for you? So Ayurveda helps us understand what's good for us right now. And that's what the masterclass is all about. And that's what my books are all about. So
Okay, so
having
then-
a little bit of knowledge makes such a big difference.
So anything else? Kasubi, you want to ask Divya? You got it right there next to you.
Well, let us just repeat that tomorrow, Monday, at 6 p.m. for our Patreon members, Divya will be doing a Q&A. And so everyone,
Oh,
Q&A for really just about like cooking in the home and so on, because that's where it all comes down. If you really want, honestly, if you want not only live healthier, but like live a good, like a life of good yoga consciousness, so much of it comes down to the kitchen. You cook for yourself, you know. It's really important. So she'll be giving advice on that, and you can take, bring questions to her. So it's real valuable. She'll do it for an hour, and if there's lots of questions, she'll even go over an hour. So that'll be a great opportunity for our Patreon members. We want to say that if you would like to take these highly recommended master classes, that you'll find the link in the details of this podcast, wherever you found the podcast. We're also going to put it on our Linktree thing on our Instagram page as well. You can find it there. So that'll, you just look for the Divya's master class for that. Also, if you want to buy anything on Divya's webpage, like those convenient kitchery packages that you can just cook up so easily, but they're very healthy.
Makes a great
and delicious
stocking stuffer.
Oh, definitely a great stocking stuffer. Then you use the code Wisdom of the Sages 15, and you'll get a 15% discount on that. So we just want to put all that out there one more time. I was thinking maybe just with the few minutes we have, I think our lifestyles are so crazy nowadays that the hardest thing for people is finding the time to do this. I think a lot of people may be listening saying, I want to do that, but come on, look at my schedule. Could you say maybe could you share maybe one or two quick time-saving tips that people might be able to put into action?
Time-saving tips.
Time-saving tips. Yeah, I have a whole section about this in the book and the master classes. But real quick, well, first, I would say, first of all, make time to cook. It's like, make it part of your schedule. Like, start including it in your schedule, even if it's just one day a week. Just make it part of your routine. What really helps me is like big part of the cooking is the prep work, right? Chopping, peeling, grating, making your spice blend, whatever. You could do this ahead of time. It's ideal to pick your vegetables from the garden, chop them fresh, and cook them and eat them right away. Offer them to Krishna.
Grind the grain and then make it. That's what my wife does.
I mean, I make my own flour. I don't buy flour. I have a grain mill and make it fresh. It takes 1 minute to do it. But I'm wired that way. But if you're not, you could just break up the prep time. And you could, instead of cooking on Sunday for the week and eating leftovers all day and feeling tired all week, we can prep your vegetables, make all these preps.
Measure out your spices, things like that.
Yeah. And then you just put it in the pot and it's very quick. You can start cooking the khichdi while you're brushing your teeth or whatever. So it's easy to do that. And also you could keep your food hot instead of, like, let's say you could make something in the morning for your lunch, put it in a thermos or like a thermo bag or something and take it and have a hot lunch at work.
That's great.
So instead of just drinking cold smoothies and being so frustrated with the cafeteria at work or
right. That's all we know. We're like, I got to eat healthy. I got to eat a smoothie. It's freezing outside and people are drinking smoothies. Come on.
And then you feel cold all the time.
And you feel cold all day. I got you. That's a great. Now on your website, do you have like a herbal spice blend in case people don't want to measure out this much turmeric, this much coriander, this much cumin? Do you have that already mixed, like a vata mix or things like that?
Yeah, we have several spice blends that were designed by Vaidya Mishra, and they're really good. My favorite one is Mom's Super Spice. It's a blend of 21 different spices that are pre-toasted. And because they're pre-toasted, just like garam masala, you can actually sprinkle it on top of your food. And it's very balanced blend. It's kind of almost good for almost everybody. And it's absolutely delicious. We use it all the time at Divya's Kitchen at our restaurant, and I cook with it all the time.
I'm buying all of these, by the way. I'm serious. I have a question that Krishna Kumari put on the board. Do pressure cookers take some of the prana out? What's your view on pressure cookers?
Well, pressure cookers may be convenient, and that's part of the Instant Pot, right? A lot of people use the Instant Pot
is the new thing everybody loves.
So I know they're convenient, and it's better to cook in a pressure cooker than eat out or not.
Buy canned
food. Yeah, that's definitely better. But what happens is pressure cooking breaks down the molecular structure of the food much faster. So it's like it becomes harder food on digestion. And you just notice, like I noticed this for myself, and I used to use pressure cooker in the past, but I stopped because I noticed that every time I would I would eat pressure cooked food, I feel extra tired afterwards.
Really?
Somehow it's like I feel like all my energy goes in the stomach to try to break it down. So it is convenient, but I only use it only like as a last resort.
What about microwaves?
Microwaves.
They're so quick. They're really quick.
Well, microwaves is one way to totally kill the prana in the food. So it looks like
that's
food,
how you
but
kill
it's
the
dead.
prana.
It's
Okay.
like, yeah, kill the prana. So
Everybody
you can't
knows
bring
this.
it back. Once it's dead, it's dead. So what I do though is I use a toaster oven to heat up the food. So, and it takes as much space in the kitchen as a microwave, really. But it takes maybe a minute longer to heat it up, but it's better.
All right.
Go. Time-saving
great.
tips.
Think about the
Okay.
prana again. It's like, how can you preserve and protect the prana
Okay. Well,
within
we're
you, in
excited.
your food, around you?
We're excited, Divya. Thank you for joining us on our show. Her new book is Joy of Balance, an Ayurvedic guide to cooking with healing herbs and ingredients. Best way to get that is at Amazon, or go to your website and get it.
You can get it at Divya's and get 15% discount with the code that you got. It's the same price as Amazon, but you can get
great.
it cheaper
What's
at
the
Divya's
website?
with the code.
Okay. Wisdom of the Sages 15 at divyas.com, divyas.com. Thanks for joining us. And we're really excited about this
Thanks for
masterclass.
having me.
I'm going to do it with my kids, and this makes a great, another great holiday gift. I think I'm going to give this to a few people. Actually,
Definitely a great holiday gift.
Yeah.
You get the master class as a holiday gift, you know?
You have a book for a holiday, depending on your budget.
Both of them.
Sometimes you can't afford to give. Yeah. If you can't afford, I'm going to give a kitchery package if I'm on a budget this year.
Your little what is stocking stuffer?
Slipper socks. Santa's going to put some goodies in our slipper socks.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
We had lots of positive feedback on our message board today. Thanks for everybody for joining us. If you want to join us live, or if you're listening on Facebook, welcome. We do this every day, not interviews every day with exalted beings like Divya, but we do study of the Srimad Bhagavatam, how to connect the jiva with the divine, ancient study of the yoga practice every day. If you like yoga, if you're into deepening your spiritual practice, we're not making this stuff up. This is a study of the Srimad Bhagavatam. We do this every day, everybody. You can join us either live on Zoom, which is fun because we get to see each other. And you do that by emailing this lady here, Mara, at wisdomofthesages108@gmail.com. And she fields that, sends you back the secret codes so you can enter into our chambers. Also, if you can, you can get it wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and of course, YouTube. Like it, follow it, subscribe, comment. Thanks everybody for joining us. Howdy Bo.